Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Building 101. Today is episode 8, and we're going to be talking about garden stuff. So, not necessarily all gardens and flowers and stuff, but how to make stuff look better with plants and more of the outdoorsy things. So, we're going to be talking about trees, wheat, pathways as well. Everything from previous Building 101s all come back to this. Everything ties together, so make sure you watch every single episode and you will understand a lot better if you're confused. So we're going to start off with centerpieces. So centerpieces is a nice way with your garden, just anything with flowers or grass. This I consider part of a garden. You can put this in here. You have the centerpiece right here, which is the circular shape of stone with a little tiny fountain in the middle. I just whipped that up. You guys can do something really big. It doesn't have to be this small. With limited space, that's what I created. And from episode 2 or 3, when we talked about pathways, everything ties in together. With gardens, this is a really good pathway. With the stone, the gravel, and the stone brick, it's a really nice thing to go with. And also, when you're doing these, you don't want to have grass in every single block. So you can see I missed a few here, which is good. And that's what you want to do. Of course, for the sake of time, I kind of just spammed it and walked around and, hit a few. So, yeah, but when you're doing this, you might want to get rid of a few blocks because realistically, there's not going to be too much grass. But we're looking for a more broken down look. People have walked around this path for quite a while. Over here is a nice look that I am going to start using a lot more, is the wheat look behind the cobblestone walls. Now what I like to do when I'm surrounding maybe a pathway or some sort of centerpiece or rails, it doesn't matter, I like to do this with cobblestone walls. I just, let's say the cobblestone wall is going this way, it cuts off and then it continues here, cuts off, continues here. That's a really nice look. And I found out that a really cool look is to have wheat behind it. You don't want to have it all the way back unless you're planning on having a huge wheat field behind it, then that's a different story. If you're doing a huge wheat field, you want to do kind of a curve and then go up a level, curve, stuff like that. That's how I would picture it. But you can see here, it's not all one straight line of wheat. You can see that there's a cut through here. Over here, I believe there's a block or two missing. And again, we have the grass. Grass comes in handy a ton. So bone meal will be your best friend. When in doubt, bone meal. That's what I always say. And again, you could see it on this side. Now we're going to look at a bad thing that people love to do. Of course, this is more of the inexperienced builders. And if you're starting out like this, like you just played Minecraft for the first time, never seen any videos or watched anyone, yeah, this is pretty good. But for veterans and everyone else who's played Minecraft more than a week, this is pretty bad. So what I see a lot of people doing is straight pathways. Now this can work in certain areas if you're going for a more refined look, but straight gravel with fences like this attached to your garden piece, that's a very bad idea. And that's what people love to do. This does not make sense. You would never see this. You would see the fence post in the dirt, but not to the side of the dirt connecting like that. It's not realistic. And the gravel path, it doesn't look pretty to me. Some people like straight. I don't care if it's gravel. You just kind of have to break it up a bit. Even this just makes it look a little bit better. Stuff like that. It makes it look a ton better. If you want it to be refined, just have a detailed stone look, or maybe a detailed stone like that, but just with less grass blocks. And here are some trees. We'll get over to those stuff over here. Well, actually, let me go to this. Even something simple like this looks a lot better than all of that. So, more work, less work, and this one looks a lot more refined. Of course, if you're going for that, you could put wood, I guess. I wouldn't do it. But let's say you have a path here, and then you can have another piece here. In one of my path episodes, I showed this design. So it's very simple. That with a grass block and 3 jungle leaves. It's really nice. So before we get into the trees, which is our second to last part, right over here I took this from our landscaping episode and talking about ponds. Now this could be a garden area as well for ponds. Again, you could see I used this look, a different path, it doesn't matter, anything could be anything. And when you're going for ponds, this is a nice look I like to use. Orb added these while I wasn't looking. Personally, I would add cobble and not mossy cobble, and a little bit of grass. I wish this would stay to dirt, but due to Minecraft, that can happen sometimes. So you can see I have the gravel and the sand. It gives it a nice look. A lot of people like to do that. And the lily pads every once in a while gives a good look as well. You don't want to span these all over the place. That just looks bad. And the reeds, if you're putting 4 up instead of the original 3, it gives a nice look. It really does. And over here you can see it cut off from way over there where episode 5 is, whenever the landscaping episode was. So with ponds, again, keep in mind, this is in depth as I can go. If you're going for a pond, put a few lily pads and even some reeds off to the side. That attracts your eye. The lily pads, you know, some people want to jump on them. You're really focusing on this pond area and getting people to look at it. By the way, the texture of the pond is changed. I know that, but with the regular blue water, it would look fine as well. And the pathways around the pond really do matter. So, a refined stone look around this messy, weird-shaped pond could look good, but you really have to figure out how you're going to do that. So, yeah. Now with trees can go in a lot of gardens. This is from my 1.7 tree generation idea video, which I wish Mojang would have seen, but they haven't. That's okay. But a lot of people seem to like these trees, and I created them all by scratch, by myself. It gives a nice look in your garden areas, having leaves drooping down. Whenever you're creating trees, have them droop down. Have the logs go upwards and not necessarily this way a lot. If you look at these trees right over here without the leaves, and then you get a regular Minecraft big tree, you'll see a huge difference. And the big tree is kind of just a clump of logs. But if you look at some trees in real life, of course there's many different trees, I understand, but I'm just talking about a regular nice oak tree. You'll see that it spikes up in an angle straight up. Of course we're talking about a healthy tree here. So big, medium, small, doesn't matter, they all look nice. And you can see the different biomes we have here. With swamps, I really like this look here, and this is probably one of my favorite trees out of all of these. How it kind of crawls in and it looks like a hand is grabbing into the pond area here. You can see that there's an open area. Here's the trunk, and then it kind of opens up like a claw. So that's a really cool look. I like that. And then you got your palm trees, coconut trees, whatever you want to call them, and they look fine as well. Of course, that would need some work, the pond. But one last thing, we are going to go to my plot, and I'm going to show you what I've been working on there, which includes a garden look. Recently, I've finished my plot. There might be some more fantasy type things. Also, you can see a tree right over there that I created in survival. But how does this deal? Oh my god, who? And you don't pick it up? 3 diamonds. Okay. Alright. That pays for it. Well, someone blew it up and didn't fix it. I wish you would have, but the 3 diamonds, I guess that pays for it. But my plot, I was going for a ruins look. And again, this could go into a garden theme. So as you can see, when you're going for a ruins look, it's more of an old shape. It's going to definitely be overgrown. You can consider it having flowers. I pictured it as not having flowers and just a lot of grass, a lot of weeds, a lot of just leaves hanging around with vines. Everything's overgrown. So you can see I took out the flowers. That adds a lot of character. Also, in this garden area, I like to call it a garden area, more of a ruin area. You can see I added faint lighting. So for this ruins area, you want to have some kind of spooky lighting. So what I did is I dug down 5 and put a torch there, and at night this place looks really cool. Besides this part right over here. So again, if you're going for any look, ruins, just a regular old house, or some kind of park or town, doesn't matter. Everything that I told you today works with that. So again, just realize centerpieces, have a nice area, have some nice paths by it. That makes it look really, really nice. Also, when you're working with ponds, like I said, or just water, put reeds and lily pads. That adds a lot of character than just regular water, and also mix up the water or the ground underneath. And again, when you're doing sort of things like this, which is the main idea of this video, ruins, for example, picture it. What would you think of it as? I thought of it as an overgrown ruins with lots of vines, leaves, and grass all around. Not necessarily flowers, because it's old and just the weeds took over the flowers. If you're going for a house, think of, oh, they keep on tending to their crops, to their whatever, to their flowers. There's going to be a lot more flowers, and especially with 1.7, gardens are going to come in handy, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below on any other topic you would want. I will do it for episode 9. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time.